Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it's Friday, so that means it's going to be a league change. We're actually going to have all three of the open leagues here coming back for this next week. So I'm going to go over a video here with 5 teams that were recommended on Twitter, basically, and yeah, we're going to be going over them and what the meta is going to look like, basically, in Open Great League. If you want to check, nothing's really changed since the last time this was around 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we have a 7 best teams video. Hopefully that's right here, right here. Check that one out. Also, to go along with these, that'll be like 12 teams basically that are pretty good. Also, Open Master League, there was a video a week back. Hopefully that's up here too. And if you want to do Open Master League, if you want to do Open Ultra League, you're going to have to check somewhere else for those. But I'm sure there's a lot of content creators out there with Open Ultra League teams. I'm sure Gudra is going to be very good in Ultra League, so check those out. Hopefully someone's got that for y'all. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you haven't, or if you think you have, and you should double check and just see that you're subscribed. Some people are saying that they thought they were and they weren't. And I'm seeing that only 34% of people who watch this video are subscribed. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you like this content. Let's go ahead and get into the teams here. And we'll go over a little description that the creator said about them. So, all right, here's the first team. We're going to have Registeel in the front with Shadow Gligar as the closer, basically, and Gudra as the safe swap. So things to look at here are Shadow Gligar is still, as I said last season and the beginning of this season, still the best mon to up energy or shields in the league. It just has neutral play against basically everything, and the Shadow version actually has the power to basically KO anything you're running into there. Registeel is rank 1 on the PvPoke simulators for Open Great League, so that's why it's up here in the front. Basically, this team was created by TZ Spinks. He's a streamer. He streams in Spanish on Twitch, and I'll put any links below that are relevant. So, yeah, he also is a coach for PvP. Definitely check him out, especially if you're Spanish speaking, but he also speaks English, can help you out tremendously there. He says that the mon to be worried about with this team are Medicham, which you don't see too often anymore, Sableye, which I think is going to have a resurgence this season, and I think we've already seen that in the beginning week of Great League, and then another ghost type in Vergyverg. So let's go on to the next team. This team is going to be from Tonton Batus. He's the EUIC 2023 champ. Yeah, he's running Greninja in the front with Clodsire as the finisher, and then Charjabug as the safe swap, basically. So Charjabug, basically, the only thing going to be super worried about is the Mud Boys, which you're going to, well, you are going to see a lot of Shadow Quagsire, I think. I think I mentioned that in the 7 best teams video previously in the season. But it has some play against it. I mean, if you don't get hit by the Stone Edge, you're basically doing almost half the HP with X-Scissor. And then Greninja can farm pretty well against something like Shadow Quagsire if it's locked in there. So that'll be good for the energy generation for Greninja. But these matchups aren't too bad in the background. I'm just now seeing that he's saying he wants to use Poison Jab as the fast attack. I personally like Mud Shot, so I'm going to leave it on there. Usually I would say, oh, I'm going to change that real quick, but I personally like the Mud Shot. I think the reason he's using that Poison Jab is because something like a Azumarill looks pretty scary in the lead for Greninja. If you only have one like hard answer in Charjabug, maybe you're going to be losing too much to the ice beams that are doing super effective. That's what I'm seeing there, but I think it's fine. He does mention that some of the core breakers are Azumarill. That makes sense. And then Wigglytuff, because you only have like Clodsire for the answers, so if you have Wigglytuff in the front, you're probably going to end up switching into Charjabug, and that's not a great matchup for Charjabug at all. They resist X-Scissor, so you really can only hit with Discharge, and it takes a long time to get those discharges with a 4-turn move such as Volt Switch. and then Shadow Dragonair. So there's just a bit of frailty here on Greninja. I remember, if you guys remember the videos in Summer Cup, I said I tried to use Greninja and it was horrific. That meta was not, for lack of a better word, as Open League is, obviously, Open Great League. But when Greninja gets into a good matchup, it can really pop off because it does have Hydro Cannon at the end of the day. Water Shuriken is a very, very fast energy generation move. The only thing is it's frail, so as long as you get into a great matchup, it's going to be doing a lot. And then Clodsire, just very bulky, has a lot of coverage within itself with Stone Edge and Earthquake. And again, I like Mudshot, gets to those moves faster, but if you want the coverage, you can definitely go Poison Jab. All right, so the next team is from Richie1409. He's the Charlotte 2023 champion. He also did get rank 1 during last season. Didn't end rank 1, but did achieve rank 1, which is probably something I'll never do. The highest I've gotten is rank 5, and that was a long time ago when I was much better. Still good, but I'm trying too many different teams now. If I just stuck one team, in a month I bet I could hit page 1 of the leaderboard. I might try that, actually. Anyways, yeah, we're going to have Clodsire in the lead, so another Clodsire enjoyer here. This one is actually, he did actually say something, Mudshot was the one he wanted to go with. We have Feraligatr as the finisher, and Umbreon is your safe swap. You already know here on the channel, Umbreon is a fantastic safe swap. Just beats a lot of the neutral matchups. It is actually getting better and better as the leagues go on. I think with just the Whiscash nerf, I don't know, it's seeing a lot more play, and it could be because Trevenant's becoming more relevant. It beats Lantern as well. Well, more on that later. But and then, yeah, he didn't say whether or not he wants Feraligatr to have Ice Beam or Crunch, so I guess use at your own will. But obviously Shadow Claw and Hydro Cannon has been a huge improvement for Feraligatr in general. And he does say to use the non-Shadow, so... Wait, this was not Richie's team. This was Rocha Babyface 1, who is a streamer on Twitch, also a Spanish-speaking streamer. I think some of his streams, at least back in the day, were in English, but I think he's moved on to full Spanish. So, sorry, I got the order wrong here. This is Rocha Babyface's team, and now this team is Richie's team. Gonna have the Talonflame with actually Lickitung as the finisher, which is not something you normally see. And then the Water Gun Lantern. So now that is it Thundershock or is it just Shock? Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the move. Anyways, now that the Electric Fast Attack has been nerfed, the Water Gun produces basically the same amount of energy, but just a little bit more damage in neutral matchups than the Shock. I'm gonna call it Shock, and if it's not Shock, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so safe swapping with the Water Gun Lantern means that if you look at this team, it could be a little deceiving, but there's actually a ton of fast attack pressure on this team in general. You could even just have the double safe swap with the big closer as Talonflame here. I'm now seeing that it has Brave Bird here. He did not specifically say Brave Bird. I actually think that is supposed to be Fly. So 1 second. All right, we're back in it with the updates there. So yeah, I think it's supposed to be Incinerate, Flame Charge, Fly, but also we have noticed that there has been an uptick in Incinerate, Fly, Brave Bird, basically saying, I don't need Flame Charge, I'm not really using it anymore on Talonflame, everything's going to be Fly because it's so much cheaper, and I might as well have that finisher move on Talonflame. So it very well could be Brave Bird and Fly, and using the back 2 Mon as 2 safe swaps and just hitting things with Talonflame. So, all right. I was about to say, I feel like it is the Brave Bird Fly, but he doesn't say, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that one for now, since that's the Talonflame that I have currently. So if you want to try it out with Brave Bird and Fly, I would say go ahead and go for it. So we're going to go over the last team here now. This is going to be from LNDS Rarjeff, the LAIC 2024 champion and 2-time regional champion as well. So has won 3. I got to remove the Talonflame. has won 3 of the Pokemon Play competitions out there, and I believe has gotten second at one other one as well. I'm not too sure on that one. So it's going to be Lickitung in the front and double Watermons in the back. So a little bit of an ABB team with Lickitung being a safe lead, basically. Trying to win those matchups in the front or soft losing, and then basically Azumarill is your safe swap, and your closer is and has always been Shadow Poliwrath. So let's see, he says something here. The core breakers for this team is going to be, let me bring that up here. So it's going to be Wigglytuff. So a lot of the team's kind of weak to Wigglytuff, actually. And then Skarmory also going to be a little bit of a tough mon. Wigglytuff obviously has advantages against Lickitung and Poliwrath, so really the only mon you want to get in there is with Azumarill. And Azumarill also, while it has the bulk, you could 2-shield through it, but he's got a big blurb here. I'm just going to read it out for this team. Lickitung wins most of the zero shield scenarios, so it's almost always going to leave Poly with a shield advantage. Azumarill is a good option for tanking energy. Neutral leads are good, and take away some... Neutral leads are good to take away some counter from the back Pokemon, and if it makes sense, try to bait out an Electric Mon with the Azumarill. So yeah, a basic ABB comp where you're trying to pull out the Poliwrath's weaknesses with the Azumarill, and you can use the bulk of Lickitung in the lead and or the bulk of Azumarill in the back to hopefully gain a shield advantage for Poliwrath. And let's go over how that happens sort of with this team. So Azumarill's moves take a long time for it to get to with Bubble. It's just not the greatest fast attack. Has been boosted in damage. So yeah, as far as energy generation, it's hard to get to these moves. They're very expensive. So Azumarill almost always takes a shield from the things that it's facing. And then the pure bulk of Lickitung can take shields from tough things, just because it's going to get to a lot of moves and the lick damage does end up building up. Okay, so those are the 5 teams that I saw basically on Twitter from these content creators and from Play Pokemon winners, champions, international winners as well. So yeah, obviously these people are very good and have their own accolades in Play Pokemon as well as the GBL leaderboards, so I'm apt to just listen to what they have to say. They've obviously perfected the craft. Yeah, and check out any of them that are content creators as well, especially if you are Spanish speakers for the ones that speak Spanish in those streams. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. And hopefully this time around, if you're running Great League or Master League, you'll come here and we'll show some videos. And hopefully I can get some of the high ranking teams on the leaderboard. That's really what I love to showcase to you all, just seeing the best players play the best teams and how they get there. So catch you in the next one.